Hello. This is a bit of a new thing for me, so please bear with me. Um, I was looking to do an armor build video today and to do some more in the future. Most build crafting things I see from other content creators tend to revolve around things that are incredibly strong or things that are broken. While strong things and broken things are definitely fun at times, I feel like it pulls a little bit out of the game, and a bit out of the experience because there are some things in this game that aren't meta defining or game breaking, but that are still fun or an interesting play style. So, I'm gonna attempt to go through a build today, and we'll see how it does. Please feel free to roast me in the comments section. So, uh, this build revolves around your Rift as a warlock and uh, basically maintaining it with as close to 100% uptime as you possibly can. I call it the Don't Stop the Healing build. Um, and although you can use it for empowering rifts as well, um, crux of this revolves around Sanguine Alchemy, which causes weapon kills while in your rift to freeze the countdown timer. You will see a buff on the left-hand side of your screen called Blood Magic while it is in effect. The first kill gives you about 3 seconds, and I believe the cap timer for Blood Magic is 13. However, um, for as long as you have that buff up, your Rift timer will not go down. However, because your Rift is out, the cooldown on your Rift will continue to tick back. This is very important for maintaining that 100% uptime. So this build will revolve around any kind of Rift effects you might have, and it's entirely neutral game based, so you can use this with any of the subclasses. So for stasis, you can think of the Freezing Pulse. For heal, Solar Warlock, think Benevolent Dawn and just getting a bunch of ability energy to everybody. Think having more Void Souls going out and keeping 100% uptime on Arc Souls without having to run Getaway Artists to consume your grenade. Okay, so as far as I've disabled as all of the fragments just so because none of them really matter for the case of this. And your fragment choices are really gonna depend on what you want to do for the remaining two combat style mods that can go in here, which are mostly up to you personally and how you want to play this. The three mods that I believe are the core and crux of this entire thing are Well of Tenacity, Seeking Wells, and Reaping Wellmaker. Well of Tenacity, picking up a Void Elemental Well will give you damage reduction for a short time. I believe it is 3 or 5 seconds of damage reduction, but it gives you resist times 3 when you pick up that well. Seeking wells is pretty self-explanatory. Elemental wells you create will go to you and nearby players, meaning you should not have to leave your rift, depending on how far away enemies are, for your well to come back to you. And Reaping Wellmaker, after activating your class ability, your next weapon kill will drop a Void Elemental Well, thus giving you your resist. Now, this ability loop does work much better with Void, especially if you spec into things like elemental armaments, elemental ordnance, and use Void weapons to kind of keep that energy going. That said, because it is revolving around dropping your rift to guarantee a void well spawns and chaining rift after rift after rift, you do not need to be restricted. The only thing that being on a void subclass allows you to do is have other sources of generating void wells if you want to keep it as a damage resist based build. Now, weapon choice is entirely dependent on whether you want to play mid to close range or mid to long range. Whatever weapon choice you decide to go with should be something that has the ability to continually chain enemy kills, uh, just to keep that countdown timer paused. Now, with Arc 3.0 being out, there is an element that you can do where you stack the resist buff from Well of Tenacity along with the Spark of Resistance buff, just to run in and be a close range turret that you're just running up, dropping a rift, and deploying yourself as a turret, and you can use Arc Soul with the Arc build to have an additional turret alongside you. Ultimately, though, this build is a lot of fun just while I've been playing it, having multiple rifts out and just creating a giant field of either healing or damage boost. Now, I preferred Sanguine Alchemy before the rework to this, but this is still kind of fun. I got this armor piece and decided to try out this build, mostly because I was looking through my vault and looking at armor pieces I don't use, and I had a decent roll for this, so I thought, why the hell not? Um, that said, I do think a neat thing they could add to this would be that over the duration of blood magic, maybe making the rifts expand in size. But the exotic already does its thing, and it does its thing very well, which is have a perpetual rift on the ground that is either going to be the damage buff for your little group or just a perpetual source of healing for people. Now, it's not going to stop you from getting one shot, obviously, but the resist from Well of Tenacity and an ability to repeatedly generate elemental wells should allow you to be in most content. I don't know if this is, I doubt this is GM Nightfall. Uh, this is definitely not GM Nightfall optimal, but I am curious to attempt using it in some GM Nightfalls just to see if it's possible to maintain blood magic up in high level content. Because if it is, it may be something that with a bit of tweaks here and there, you can use as a perpetual source of healing. But uh, that's it um, for this particular build. Please look forward to some other builds I'm going to have moving forward. Uh, One of them involving Shinobu's Vow, and another one that I'm actually very excited to try out again that I made last season involving Stronghold. So please, if you like the builds, have questions, comments regarding what I have going on with this, or if you just want to meme on me in the comments section or rip on me for having a cheese or dumb idea, please feel free to do so in the comments section below. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.